say that you're not. You told me not to introduce you as an expert. I don't think that's fair. I think you definitely know what you're talking about, so that's a good start. So you're definitely an expert officially now. The Klotho studies, are they? I mean, I know that you said that these sort of go back to 1997, and so you're not the first to be studying it. However, are there many other people studying it at length, or is the work that you're doing at the moment quite unique in that sense?
No. I think a lot of people I'm not sure if you can actually. Yeah. So a lot of people is studying approaches to therapeutic approaches based on Klotho. I did my PhD in the lab of, as I said at the beginning, Miguel Chillon, and his lab has been working with trying to develop therapies for instance, Alzheimer's and other diseases for a long time. And there are other American and Japanese groups that are also using different approaches. We use gene therapy that I'm not sure if you are aware of. So we use kind of viral particles in order to introduce new copies of Klotho into the cells. So these cells will have more copies of Klotho and it will increase the production. And we also are now developing, is one of the parts I'm more involved in, is to produce Klotho as a therapy that you could take of biologics, so a protein, so you can inject yourself with increase the amount of Klotho. This is kind of more applicable, let's say, approach, no? Because if we finally develop this recombinant protein and we prove that's effective, then it's easier than going through a gene therapy that has a really long regulatory, let's say, process. Yeah.
And do you think? Oh, is that on? There you go. That's better. Do you think the work that you're doing at the moment will enter sort of mainstream, I don't know, products and things in the future, or is that a million light years away at the moment?
I mean, I hope so. No, I hope that at the end, when we do research in the lab, most of us want our research to have an impact, no? And our idea we are developing. So we are for this project. You can see in the results I showed. We got really good results for preventing osteoporosis and muscle wasting in mice. So the two strategies or the two targets that we are developing a therapy for are these two diseases associated with aging. So at the end, you can't develop something to stop aging, but you need to apply it to specific, let's say, problems or diseases. So we are advancing in developing a recombinant protein targeted to osteoporosis and sarcopenia. And we hope, I don't know, if everything goes perfect and it works in animal, then it goes through the regulatory control, then it's produced. It could be a real drug approved, not soon, but in less than 10 years.
Amazing. I think on that same subject, just from a broader perspective, what do you make of the boom in the longevity movement at the moment and the various different pills and solutions that are being offered to humans in different formats? Do you think it's all noise? Do you think it's mostly noise, or do you think there's some good stuff in there too?
I mean, I'm sure that there are good stuff there. The thing is that it's difficult to do longevity studies in human because we are human. It's easy to do in mice because they live 3 years. So if someone's stating if you take resveratrol or if you take this, you're going to live 10 years longer, how do you know if no studies have been done? Yeah. Maybe it improves some parameters. So if it does improve some parameters and if they are actually selling you the product, because you can buy something online and they say it's resveratrol and maybe it's not. So that's the thing. It could work, but you need to be really aware of what you are taking it, why, if it goes to your, let's say, epigenome, if go to reduce your oxidative stress, you need to find like a logic behind it, no? And then to be sure that the source you are getting that product from is viable, no? So far, the one that improves your quality of life the most is doing regular exercise and having a healthy diet,
So on that as well, you mentioned that, and I hope everyone's doing their exercise, by the way. That's obviously very important. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about the supplements. It's fine. Just exercise. Mm-hmm. Do you think you mentioned that the oldest humans that we know of at the moment are sort of, our absolute peak is around probably about 120 before you get to gene therapy and all that kind of stuff. Do you think we are at peak lifespan at the moment, or do you think we've got a long way to go on that front as well?
You mean if we will reach 120 years ourselves?
Maybe not ourselves, but the next few generations of us. Can we get past 120?
I mean,
Can
like Maria, for example, was the most long-lived human for a couple of, I think, one year, and she lived 117. So we are kind of close. Obviously, she's one out of the 8,000 million of people that we are in the world. So maybe it becomes more and more evident, common to reach that ages. But again, what I think it's important is not some of us reaching 120, but most of us going to maybe 80 years old, healthy and functional. I think that's the main goal that we should bear in mind when we are trying to develop therapies to prevent diseases or to have a good health span, let's say. More than the lifespan, it's a fancy number and something really appealing, no? To live 100 years, but it's more important to reach 85, but you can be completely independent in 90 years, completely independent.
And more controllable as well, right?
Yeah.
So you can actually be in control of reaching that age rather than you might have to have some lucky factors involved to getting to 117 or 120.
Exactly. Maybe in future we can actually, with gene therapy, with treatments, so you have not have the best genetic, but then you will already know which would be a good genetic. So we kind of not alter your genome, because again, that's not legal.
Yes.
But you can produce the factors or do gene therapy that's actually legal, and gene therapy is used wide for genetic diseases and for other applications.
Great, thank you.